Well, guys, it may look like it is that point in my Funko Pop collecting life. You know, all those times when you buy so many pops after so many pops, and when Funko constantly keeps producing so many pops, it's very hard to keep up with. You don't have enough room on your shelving units to place these pops, and then it makes you contemplate, do I really need these pops anymore? Should I just sell them off? So for those that don't know me yet, I'm DK Wrestler, and if you couldn't really tell what today's video is all about, today's video is me rearranging my Funko Pop collection. Wait, did you really think I was giving up Funko Pop collecting? I've been wanting to do another rearranging video for quite a while now, and I thought with the amount of pops from certain sets that are just overflowing that I need to move, that I thought it was now the perfect time to do this video, especially with our advent calendar of content here on the channel, so let's get right to it. So one of the biggest reasons I wanted to actually rearrange my collection was because of my office Funko Pop collection. We are at the point in my collection where even all the way down this shelf, I have no more room, even with the placeholders, to fit the rest of the set. And currently I have the rest of the set on this TV stand, which we're going to figure out in a little bit exactly where I'm going to be putting the pops, or what's going to be going on this shelf, but nonetheless we have to figure out where we're putting the office pops. So I think my idea is that I'm going to be taking these Toy Story pops all the way down here. They're actually all going to be moving as terms to the shelf where the office pops are. And I do have the Alien Remix pops also, which I'm actually going to be putting them behind the Toy Story pops, and then also put the Lightyear pops behind them too. That way it's all Toy Story on that one shelf, and then with the office it's going to go all the way up here, and it's going to go down here, and then it's going to try and fit as many spots on both these shelves as possible, all the way across numerical order. Alright, so I cleared off this entire middle area, and then I did fill up the top part here with Toy Story pops, and then on the side right here you do have the Deluxe of Rex and the VHS covers right there, and behind all that stuff are just a bunch of the Pop and Tea boxes. And so I basically have to fill in 3 rows deep, because you could fit 3 pops like this, and then it's 6 pops this way. So what I'm going to be doing, of course, is taking the Lightyear set, which is over here, with another set on the back row. The Alien Remix that I showed off earlier, that's down there, is going to go in the middle row, and then in front will be the Toy Story pops. You can see I've already moved a few of them, considering that it took about 3 of those pops there to fill up this top space with 3 high, and it is very risky for me to have my OG Buzz Lightyear, the first Funko Pop I have, be at that very top shelf, being at super big risk of falling and possibly damaging the pop. Alright, so row 1 has all of the pops from the Lightyear set, including the exclusive pops, all of the Metallica pops that aren't the ROM exclusives, all of the Pittsburgh Penguins pops in the set, besides, of course, the placeholder for that new Sidney Crosby pop that's coming out with the retro jersey, and then, of course, the entire 6-pop set of Jingle All the Way. That's what I was able to fit in row 1. In row 2, we have 2 movies lineups with all 3 pops from Tommy Boy, and then all 3 pops, technically, actually there is 4, but there's no point in getting the comment for this pop, for Jumanji, whether it's the OG or Welcome to the Jungle, and then the entire set of Alien Remix, including the placeholders for pops that I still need, do fit exactly perfectly on this shelf. Of course, there is that gap right there, but the 2-pack box for some reason is so small compared to the normal size of 2 pop boxes. And there is the first row with all the Toy Story pops. There's a couple of placeholders, being the Metallic Woody and the Diamond Collection Buzz Lightyear, but everything fits pretty much exactly through. I do have 2 placeholders because, of course, at some point there probably will be 2 more Toy Story pops within the next year, I would assume, so at least I don't have to really rearrange it. If that's the case, I could just put the pops right there. And then down here we still have some office pops just chilling there, but I'm not exactly sure. Like, I know I'm going to move them, but I don't know what I'm going to put them in replacement of that. And then I thought I'd show you guys that I have basically emptied off those top shelves, and basically emptied off these shelves here. I started doing a row right here. I don't think that's going to be official. I think that's just going to be temporary at the moment. But first, I do have to see exactly how the office pops fit before I figure out what's going below them. Alright, so this is what it's looking like for what I have for the progress of the office pops thus far. Boom, all the way across. I have the multi-packs on top, and if they make any more, those will go on top of them. And back here, if you guys were wondering, were a lot of the deluxe pops I have that were stored in a different spot that I thought I'd put there. And then there is going to be a Michael Scott Pop Rides coming out soon, so that is going to be placed right there. And then I think if I counted correctly, and as I moved a lot of this stuff, that's just a random assortment of stuff. And then we got this section again, that I believe the entire office set of what's out is going to fill this entire space, which is pretty crazy because I thought I was going to fit some other lineups in this section. All right, so I filled in these spots. These are actually 2 placeholders for like future office pops that haven't come out, because that's going to be the newest one. That is the Jesus Michael Scott, and those are the 2 from the collector's box that I still need. And while trying to sort everything out, I guess what I had to do was shorten it by 1, because I believe it was 3 high, but now it's only 2 high, including the multi-packs. But it doesn't matter, because if they do a massive wave the next time they do office pops, I will be able to just move them up by 1 realistically. So yeah, it won't be too much rearranging in the near future if there's more office pops that are more than just the 2 right there. All right, so this bottom part of the shelf, there was quite a bit that had to be moved, and I think what I'm going to do here is that both of the lineups, which I believe are Crash Bandicoot and WWE, that are on this side, whoops, I moved the camera there, I'm going to put it all on this shelf, because I think I'm going to put this bottom part as all of the pops that I'm trying to sell. So that way I have space to actually put them in a spot instead of behind certain sets of Funko Pops. So all of the pops that I had from toy shows are all right here in these totes. So they're going to go basically being placed where those pops are. So we're going to move these over to here. All right, so the entire spots are filled in there. There are obviously some random stuff on top there I just put for right now, but this shelf here is pretty empty with a couple of pops here that I may actually add to my sale pile. So any Rick and Morty fans, I am trying to get rid of a lot of my pops. So before I take the pops out of the totes that I have for the one shelf, I do have a bunch of pops just chilling up on here from Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm trying to decide right now what exactly I'm going to do. It may be a whole 6-inch display. It may be where the pop moments and rides end up going, because they are much larger. I do think I am moving the Yu-Gi-Oh! Set. I just don't know exactly what I'm doing with yet, and especially don't know what I'm going to do with this 10-inch pop. Alright, so I got the next display finished, which mainly showcases the 6-inch Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops, and I'm sure there's going to be more down the line. Above are a little extra space for like moments and rides. Some of them you can't actually see. Some of them I put on top of the 10-inch Alien Remix pop. There was no way of trying to like be able to display that showing the front there with everything I had here. So that's basically what I got, unfortunately, here for this part of the display. And then right here, I know some of the shelf is hard to see because of the shadow, but I was able to fit every Yu-Gi-Oh! Funko Pop that I have in my collection, and that technically is out right now in this display, including the placeholder right there, if I can zoom in closer, for what would be the AAA anime exclusive flocked and glow-in-the-dark version of Karibo. And then there is my newly bought Dark Magician Girl with the Toy Tokyo Con sticker. And I know there is the Jinzo with Time Wizard pop that's coming out, so maybe at some point I'll figure out something afterwards, but nonetheless, this basically is the display for pretty much the entire set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Funko Pops. And here is the last shelf that I have been working on right here, which is pretty much the shelving that has all of the Funko products that I'm selling. There's more behind like this top part or the front part here, but of course it's a second row so you can't see it, but my more expensive pops are behind there. We do have some $20 and $25 pops and some cheaper pops. And then down here, these are all of my Chase sodas, one of them being $50, as you can see by the tag there. And then I do have cheaper ones, like common ones, but those I could not fit on there, so they are in one of the totes at the moment. But nonetheless, we are pretty much finished with this shelf. So in case you guys wanted to see a recap, here is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Section with, of course, some of the moments and rides right there. There actually is these Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops, in case you were wondering if I had those, but those don't fit on the shelf. And not only that, I don't have protectors for those, so I don't want to put them on top of them and risk box damage. And of course, let's show off once again the Office Pop section, going all the way across like this, numerical order. And then boom, going down here, the sales pops, and then these were just the clutter of WWE and other licensors, 3 deep there, so it's all the way in the front instead of basically second row like you see with a lot of these. And then we got the Toy Story section going all the way down here, boom, Let's look at everything here from number 4, and then the newest pop being Stinky Pete. And right here is the Yu-Gi-Oh section. So I was able to show off a decent amount of my favorite sets with this new rearrangement.